Peace, Sean. I love it. It's on?
Yes, it's on.
What's cracking, guys? Omar Esaf here. You know I'm back with another video. Yes, in case you're wondering, if you want to know the secret 7, are you doing the sound effect? And notice you didn't do it in the last video. They need to know how seismic these tips are. The big secret is we film these in one day, one time a year, 365 videos, and then we just gradually release them. Speaking of secrets, I want to talk today about hypertrophy training and something that you might not be thinking about, but can definitely assist you when it comes to your gains. What do you think about when you lift? Are you thinking about the heartbreak? You're thinking about the heartbreak, aren't you? I can just tell. I'm looking in the eyes, Severin, and I can tell.
Me and my broken heart.
Get over her, bro. It's okay. What I want you to think about, I want you to think about one major technical cue that's going to help you execute the movement you want to do to better get to your goal, inducing hypertrophy in a particular area. That's a lot of fancy words just to say that people talk about the mind-muscle connection, and while I think there is some validity to that, sometimes we go overcomplicate it. Well, here are some personal trainers. Okay, you're gonna squat. We want you to externally rotate with the hip. We wanna make sure the knees are pointed out. Feet are at 14.4 degree angle. We wanna make sure the back's here. We're gonna set the hips, and then when we go down, we do this, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're given 8 cues. Your body doesn't work like that. In fact, when you lift, your body is largely on autopilot, and it's a beautiful thing. It's moving through 3D space. Kinesthetic sense of awareness, and you naturally get better at that over time. I think when it comes to strength, once again, some coaches can overprescribe. When you get to 80% and above, even if you're thinking about those cues, whether or not your body actually executes it exactly as you intend is an entirely different matter. And I would say when it comes to hypertrophy, people can think about a few different things. I like to think about one thing because once again, your body is largely on autopilot. When you do a pull-up, when you do a bench press, you could try and think of all those things at once, but we almost get that paralysis by analysis where then we're not getting the requisite intensity we need because now we're thinking, are we doing this? Are we doing this? So I like to think of one cue, but you want to be very focused on this cue because it can make a dramatic impact. Let's just talk about a few different examples. On the bicep curl, if we're just going through the motions, you're thinking about that heartbreak, and you're doing a bicep curl and you're just using that momentum, you're using a lot of momentum, excessive momentum, first really focusing on that contraction, maybe the one cue you think like, get the arm high so you're pointing it towards the sky as you curl up, so as high as possible when you curl up. It's going to have a dramatic difference on the outcome of that exercise when it comes to your hypertrophy. And I think all too often, especially if you're a power building bro, so you care about strength, you go nuts. So you're squatting, you're deadlifting, getting hyped. Ah! I got it, right? And then it'll come time to do the hypertrophy work, and then we're on autopilot. We're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do some rows. I got to do it because I want to develop the physique. But we actually don't give a fuck about those exercises. So let's simplify it, and let's make it more effective. Let's think about one cue. I'll walk you through quickly my back workout. You don't need to think about this cue. They kind of apply directly to me. But you want to think about what's the one major thing I should be thinking about that will better induce hypertrophy. So some cue that maybe when it comes to the back, the lats, want to set them in place, whatever it might be. So let's walk you through my workout. On the pull-ups, I actually think about bracing. Because if I don't brace, especially as the weight gets heavier, we can use some of that momentum or we can swing back and forth. So we're leaning back, we're leaning forward, we're cutting the range of motion. Once I kind of got this pillar set up, it's much easier to contract the lat. So by indirectly focusing on bracing, it makes it easier to allow the lat to do what it's supposed to do. That's one. 2, let's talk about when we're doing, I call it the TIE fighter row. I think about full range of motion in my head. So I think about rounding forward a little bit, protracting with the shoulders, and then really retracting when I bring it all the way back. So I think about a long range of motion because once again, it's a different type of device. It's easier to allow that protraction to happen. It feels great on the back. And then to really rotate and retract with the back. I'm not thinking, where's my elbow position at every inch of the range of motion? I'm thinking instead, full range of motion, so protraction into all the way massive retraction. I think we showed that in the video. 3, when we talk about, for me, the pull down and we're doing a neutral grip, I actually tend to think we're trying to have that line of pull, so the line of pull straight down, but the ending portion, I actually do something a little different that might be hard to notice. I try and bring it down to the chest, but I almost try and bring it lower because once again, we think about the function of the lats, so we're bringing the arm down like so. We could bring it down to here, but our chest is kind of in the way. I try and bring it a little bit lower, get that end range of motion. So it's one cue, once again, I'm thinking about. So full range, but bring it a little forward on the way down. That's 3. When we talk about the one arm cable row, I actually will think about a little bit of lateral flexion. So when I'm bringing it in, I'll try and almost contract because that's one of the functions of the lats. and range of motion, I'll turn like this and try and squeeze and get that maximal contraction. And then lastly, I think we showed the bicep curl. Honestly, at that point, I was a little bit fatigued. Form on that, it's okay. But I was trying to think about that, the idea of coming all the way up. So leading, elbows coming up straight, keeping the wrist neutral. That actually is one applicable rule for everyone. Maybe if you want to simplify your movements at first, you want to think about the line of pull. So people, they'll do the rows and they'll bend in like that. That might be you, right? On the curl, I'm thinking about nice and tall and high, not swinging it forward, but trying to get the arm as high as possible when I do that contraction. In that way, every single movement, I'm just thinking about one thing. I'm cruising to my tunes, but I have an intent, I have a focus, and I have a purpose, and I'm trying to contract particular muscles. So I can bring the intensity, but I also can bring the right intensity to target those muscles that I want. Just want to make a quick video about this because I'll see once again, I'll look around the gym, I'll study people. I'm kind of like, what's his name, Steve Irwin, RIP? Well, I'm just studying them, the animal kingdom, the zoo culture. Is that, am I going to get sued now if I say that? Ah, we're so close, guys. So close. I look at people when they lift, and I would say when it comes to hypertrophy training, if we look at actual bodybuilders, they're training with a certain intensity. So don't cut yourself short. Think about that cue, and I do think over a long period of time, because there's no one weird trick that will make a dramatic, immediate impact, but over a long time course, so a year, several years, yeah, it'll equal more gains. Anyways, I gotta get out of here. I've been filming all damn day. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, I wanted them to say it, but I know they're thinking about it. Like the damn video, and I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next one. Peace!
Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.